Happy Halloween, everybody. My name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel. Today is October 31st, which means Halloween has finally arrived. Tell me, what are y'all burning today? I feel like I'm almost out of all my Halloween candles. I don't have much to choose from, but I'm making it work. Also, since it's the end of the month, that means it's time for my November burn rotation video. And y'all, I got stacks. I got a couple over here. I got a couple over here. It's gonna be a long video. I did help you out. I themed this video. So each crate is a different theme. That's also because I usually burn in increments of like 5 or 6 in my house at the same time. At least 3 or 4 down in the open concept, usually 1 in my office, his office, and 1 in the bathroom. So I have these themed, 6 to 7 per theme. I'm going to label them in the chapter notes below so you can click the hyperlinks, or you can hover your mouse if you're on a desktop in the video below and jump right to where you want to go, in case you don't want to watch the whole thing. If you do want to watch the whole thing, get like me. This is all caffeine and some milk. Y'all, I did a Cafe Bustelo review for Influencer. Yeah, I posted it on my Instagram like a month ago. And now I'm addicted to their coffee. By the way, this is not a paid promotion. I just actually genuinely like it and now can't get enough. And then Target had this like free pumpkin spice syrup because I'm a member of their delivery membership thing. So I'm drinking some pumpkin spice prepared espresso with milk. Even though the Hubs has a fancy espresso machine and could have made it for me, I kind of like this cheap fake stuff better. I think it's real. It's just like concentrated and very syrupy and sugary. It kind of reminds me of getting coffee at Starbucks. Anyhow, get yourself a beverage, some caffeine. I'm trying to decide where to start. I think I'm going to start over here because that's where the bulkiest stuff is, and I can kind of just move that out of the way and make space for the stuff that's cleaner. Against my better judgment, I thought it would be fun to do a Thanksgiving Day rotation, because here in the US we celebrate Thanksgiving in November. So I bought everything but a turkey scented candle, and I did think about it. Trust me, I looked into it. However, I think the only company I could find that sold a turkey scented candle was DW. And having bought their ramen candle in the past and their fried chicken candle in the past, I was like, nah, I'm good. But I do have everything else. I have all the fixins. A lot of these are from Homeworx, Slatkin & Co. First one is the mashed potatoes and gravy. And the label on this, y'all, my goodness, makes me hungry. This is scent notes of freshly mashed potatoes, savory warm gravy, melted butter, and fresh thyme. I get mostly thyme on this, and what smells a lot like a bouillon cube. I feel like I get a really strong, like concentrated chicken note in here that almost smells a little bit like cat food. And I will say, speaking of cats, because it smells like cat food to me, I put it up to my cat's nose to see if he wanted to sniff it. It was Maud. He got very interested in this candle, so I think it actually does smell like chicken broth. So we're going to have mashed potatoes. You can't have mashed potatoes without having stuff in them, am I right? Y'all, I really don't think I'm going to like the mashed potato one at all. I don't know that I'm going to like this one. It's really just for the novelty. Toasted bread, melted butter, chopped sage, and rosemary. I think I like this better than the mashed potatoes. That's very thyme heavy and like chicken broth. This actually has really nice rosemary in it. And it's bready. And you can't have mashed potatoes, stuffing, and gravy without cranberry sauce, which, y'all, I make my own cranberry sauce every year. And this actually looks just like it, even with the orange zest that's in there. This one I will actually burn. I'll enjoy this one. Stewed cranberries, Valencia orange peel, and spiced red apple with cane sugar. That is assuming I can smell it because it's a Slatkin & Co. It's pretty light on cold, very artificial cranberry. It actually almost smells like a cranberry jelly bean or like a cranberry gummy. It smells nothing like cranberry sauce. And then for the dessert, praline pecans, which to me smells like the inside of a pecan pie. This one's pecan, creamy toffee, whipped vanilla, and almond butter. I have actually started to burn this one because I was testing it. I did a review on this one and love it. I do actually get some strength and throw from it, which is impressive given that it's a Homeworx candle. And can't be without sweet potato pie. And this is another one I started burning because I also did a review on this one. Sweet potato, pumpkin puree, toasted marshmallow, and brown sugar. Yes, and it actually smells like sweet potato flesh. It's not a pumpkin smell, which sometimes things say sweet potato, they smell like pumpkin. This legitimately smells like sweet potato. And like toasty marshmallow. I'm kind of sad it's halfway gone. Maybe I should have picked up an extra one. We'll see. I don't know if it's still available. I'll have to look. And because I can't abandon my roots, okay, in Michigan, we make pumpkin pie. I think the Southerners do it better. They do sweet potato. So I had to also include a pumpkin pie candle for Thanksgiving Day. This is from Goose Creek. Pumpkin pie filling, autumn spices, and buttery baked crust. Although, if I recall, the pie note is not strong on this. Yeah, this kind of just smells like a creamy pumpkin with cinnamon. It's good, but I don't think it smells like pie. I do have reviews out on most of this stuff, including this one, this whole collection. You're going to see more of this. So if you want to look into any of my reviews, just go to my channel page, search for my videos. You should be able to find this stuff. This one I do not have a review on, but you can't have Thanksgiving without rolls. So I got the Pillsbury crescent roll scent from Goose Creek. Freshly baked crescent roll, warm butter, and a sprinkle of salt. That's exactly what this smells like. I cannot wait to burn this. It is so bready. Hint of butter and very salty. My mouth is watering. Yeah, it smells just like fresh baked bread out of the oven. I don't think I'd say it necessarily smells specifically like a crescent roll, because these, if I recall, are kind of oily. But definitely like fresh baked bread with butter and a little bit of salt, which is definitely something I'm interested in on Thanksgiving. I make these Dutch rolls in a Dutch oven. It's so good. All right, that is Thanksgiving Day. All right, let's get into this stack over here, just for the sake of ease, because it's literally right next to me. This is an apple pear kind of dessert sort of vibe theme. One of those is the Country Candle Anjou and Allspice. I picked this up during the Labor Day sale. It was on clearance. This is still on markdown if it's available, by the way, because the country jars are being discontinued from Kringle. It's pear, allspice, juniper, pear again, gin accord, vanilla, cream, and nutmeg. It's a very creamy yet tart pear. I feel like it feels like a broken down baked pear, but it also still has some of that tartness and juiciness in it. I get just a hint of the gin accord, which I'm not crazy about. It really brings out the juniper note that's in here, which I'm also not always crazy about. And the allspice is nice. Allspice always kind of reads like clove to me. The Hubs really likes that one as well. In the same theme, classic apple pie. This is Goose Creek. I also have Bath & Body Works warm apple pie. A lot of pie this month because it's Thanksgiving. It's the holidays, y'all. Classic apple pie from Goose Creek is Macintosh apples, cinnamon sugar, and homemade crust. You get the pie crust. It legitimately feels like a baked pie crust. The apple is sweet. Just a little bit tart. It feels light on cold. I don't remember that collection very well. I know I did a review on the full thing. And if I had to choose between the two, Bath & Body Works versus Goose Creek on cold, it would be Goose Creek. I feel like the pie crust note is better and the apple is softer. This is good, but it reads a little bit perfumey to me for some reason, which sometimes happens with apple scents with me. It's one of the reasons I don't like apple all the time. So warm apple pie from Bath & Body Works, which is also a White Barn candle. Baked Granny Smith apple, melted brown sugar, flaky homemade crust. And I picked this up at the outlet store. It's pretty light too. This almost smells more like an apple crumble to me than it does a pie. We'll see. Maybe by the end I will like one better than the other and it'll do a switcheroo. Honey Pear Crumble, speaking of crumble, from Goose Creek. This is caramelized pears, sweet honey, and crumble topping. There's something a little weird about this one. Normally I really like their pear. I think it's probably the honey note. It just makes it smell a little artificial. There's also like it's like a tanginess to it that almost to my nose reads like an acidic pickle juice or like a jalapeno juice. That's not what this is. It's not in there. I just think it's the honey. And normally I like Goose Creek's honey too. I love their honey bee hollow. But something about how these are playing together doesn't smell that good on cold, but if I recall correctly, I really liked that one on warm. Harvest Gathering from Bath & Body Works. This one is fresh picked apple, autumn berries, and clove buds. I feel like you get a slight berry note. It almost feels like a cranberry, something kind of sweet and dark and tart. You get the freshness of the apple. It is very juicy. It's not too sour. And then you get clove. And the clove is pretty dominant. But I also feel like the tartness of the apple kind of helps to balance some of the spiciness of the clove. And I'm going to burn my very limited edition straggler candle that just rando showed up in one of my shipments from Goose Creek. Apple dumpling. Y'all, I still can't believe I got this candle. So if you didn't get that video, didn't watch that video, I bought a whole collection. They didn't send me one of them, and instead I got this candle. And this was a limited edition candle that was only sold in the box set for the Strawberry Shortcake line. And even then, there were only like, what, 200 or 300 box sets sold. I'll take it. They gave it to me for free. It's mine, and I'm going to use it. I thought about keeping it just because it's amazing that I got it for free. But y'all, I burned my candles, so I'm going to burn it. Baked apples, cinnamon sugar, buttery pastry, and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And it is mostly apple with this really nice creamy lactonic note that's also a little bit sweet. So it actually does smell like a la mode. It smells like ice cream with apples, like baked warm apples that you've put over the top. It's really good. I cannot wait to get into that one. And the last one in this theme is Bath & Body Works Apple Crisp. This is caramelized apple, cinnamon crumble, and sugared oats. And I've got some oils already separating in the bottom there. You can see there's some little specks here and here. And there's more over here. It's okay. This means it's time to burn it. Yeah, and this is good. You know, I bought this last year, and I remember I ended up taking it back. It gave me a headache or something, and I think it's because the apple in here also reads perfumey to me. But you also just get this really nice, like, buttery and spice note. I'm guessing the buttery is part of that crumble. And you get the sweetness from the caramel. So I'm going to give it another go. I think I'm going to like it this year because I am more warmed up to apple than I have been in previous years. All right, next theme is my coffee theme. This is mostly for the hubs because he loves coffee. But also, as you will see, I have a waffle theme and a pancake theme. So these are going to do real well with blending. Salted caramel macchiato from Goose Creek. This one is drizzled caramel, sea salt, foamed milk, and espresso. This was one of the better ones in that coffee house collection. This one actually does smell like coffee. It gets a hint of sweetness. It's not too milky. It's just a solid performer. Bath & Body Works coffee. I also have this in the fresh brewed coffee label. That's the same scent. This came out for Candle Day last year, but I believe I got this at SAS. Doesn't have a good scent note list. It's a conceptual scent story. Enjoy the room-filling aroma of fresh coffee beans as you pour yourself a cup of ambition. And it's just coffee. It's not too bitter. It's not milky. It's not sweet. It's just legit. Like you have the most beautiful, delicious, like light roast black coffee sitting in front of you. And usually a good performer. I'm gonna finish up this candle I got from circa 1955. It's called Black Spire Calf. Hubs has gotten through about half of it. He says he can smell it. I can't. I don't have any scent coming out of this one when I sniff it, but he says he burns it on his desk and he can smell it okay. It's very milky with just a hint of coffee to my nose. And I originally bought him this because we love getting the Black Spire Calf from, it's one of the restaurants in Star Wars land. It is so good. They put like cocoa pebbles in it and sweetened condensed milk. I could drink like 5 of those a day. It's not good to drink that much caffeine and sugar, but it's delicious. Paris Cafe from Bath & Body Works. This is the old label. This is White Barn from like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2023. So this is over 2 years old now. This I picked up at Winter Sass and it was MOS. So it is old. They sold it to me anyways. This is also the jar that people were convinced was like the last powerhouse Paris Cafe candle. I still think the new ones are strong, but people say this one is the beast. So I'm finally going to break it out. I hope it hasn't been too long. And we're going to burn this. This one also to me just smells like coffee. It's rich roasted coffee, sugared brioche, and vanilla cream. And I think it smells a lot like the fresh brewed coffee. I don't get the brioche or the cream in it. It actually smells a little bit darker to me than the fresh brewed coffee. Gonna get through a Bookstore Cafe. This one on cold, I think smells legit like a Barnes & Noble with a Starbucks in it. It also has a hint of like a cannabis element in it to me, which I didn't smell until Taylor over at Candle Coven pointed out. And I was like, oh, it does. It does smell like cannabis when you first smell it. It's got some funk to it. When you burn this, I don't think it smells as much like coffee in a coffee shop, but I'm still going to put it in the collection. I need to explore it more. I need to get to know it better. I don't know whether or not I fully like it yet. And then from the new IHOP collection, we're going to get through International House Roast Coffee. And this one, on cold, smells like it's going to be a very dark roast coffee. And then on warm, just becomes very vanilla-y. Because it does have a creamy vanilla note in it, along with spiced cinnamon stick, which I don't get at all, and roasted coffee beans. Not as excited about that one. I think Paris Cafe and coffee are my 2 favorites in that theme. But the Hubs likes all of them, so he's going to burn them all. The next theme I have is a cranberry theme. Cranberry shortbread from Goose Creek is the first one. It's dried cranberries, powdered sugar, and buttery shortbread. And this one was so promising on cold. You get a very jammy, almost like a dry jam. It doesn't feel really syrupy or sweet. Cranberry with an actual buttery shortbread. But on warm, it ends up just turning kind of artificial. And the pastry note in here doesn't quite feel right to me. I'm going to burn it and see if I end up enjoying it. Sometimes things grow on me and I end up really liking them. If I don't like it, I'll just destash it. I have a frosted cranberry from last year. This is in that style. It reminds me of like a headboard. This has scent notes of iced cranberries, blonde woods, red apples, and tonka bean. I actually really like the apple in here. I didn't like it as much last year. It's just a really nice balance of, it almost feels like a candied cranberry. It's not too tart and it feels a little gelatinous to me. Like a candied cranberry with a really bright, juicy apple. And then just a hint of something that feels a bit, to me, perfumey. Again, that could be the apple. It could be the woody notes that are in there. Usually an okay performer for me. We're going to try, for the first time, I've never had this one, cranberry and gala apple. It's gala apple, tart cranberry, and a pinch of cinnamon. And this one is much more, I feel like, cranberry leaning than the previous one. This also smells a little bit soapy to me, even though there's nothing in here that would make it read soapy. Yeah, there's something in there that feels a bit soapy to me. I don't know about that one. The Hubs likes it though, so we're going to do it. This one I do love. Cranberry and eucalyptus. I am really over eucalyptus right now, but the cranberry is so nice in this. Bright cranberries, fresh eucalyptus, and a pinch of spice. Yeah, the cranberry is so sweet. and juicy. And then you have this like kind of high-pitched, not quite sinus clearing, but very just bright and alive, invigorating eucalyptus in the background. Very well balanced. I love it. Cannot wait to get into this. I think I may have to repurchase that one before the season is over. Cranberry Woods. I really like this one. I also love these jars. This is the same jar collection that has Autumn Woods, which is also in here. I'm going to do a second one because I couldn't get enough of that one last month. Cranberry Woods is tart cranberry, cinnamon bark, forest cedar, and golden amber. I love the way the cranberry plays with the amber in this. The cranberry is very tart and juicy, and the amber just feels really vibrant. A little bit perfumey. But then it's balanced out by the like earthy woodiness that's associated with both the cedar and the cinnamon bark. It's just beautiful. Complex. Well balanced. I like that whole collection. And from Goose Creek, not as crazy about this one, but I'm going to burn it. Pomegranate cran apple. It's sweet pomegranate, tart cranberries, and red apple. Yeah, it just feels artificial. It smells like pomegranate cran apple, like fun dip. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like too tart, too sour, too candied. And it just doesn't smell authentic. I may destash this one too. We'll see. I'm going to get into it, and if I'm repulsed by it, I will get rid of it because that's where I'm at these days. All right, y'all. Almost through the first stack here. This is my pumpkin gourmand theme. One of those is pumpkin cupcake from Bath & Body Works. Whipped buttercream, Madagascar vanilla, pumpkin spice, and freshly baked cupcake. Oh, this might be one of my favorite themes this month. Actually, there's not really a theme that I'm like, Usually there's at least one or two where I'm kind of on the fence. This month is really good. It's sweet. I feel like I get buttercream. I get pumpkin. I get the spice. It's well balanced. It smells like somebody is making pumpkin cupcakes and I just licked the spatula. It's amazing. This one is also pretty good. Pumpkin sugar cookie from Goose Creek. Pumpkin sugar, cookie dough, and buttercream frosting. Although I think this one, was this one light? Much more vanilla buttercream on this one. That one has more pumpkin and spice. This kind of just smells like raw cookie dough, sugar cookie dough, buttercream frosting with just like a hint of pumpkin. I feel like there's a touch of spice in there too, but it's very subtle. Pumpkin snickerdoodle from Bath & Body Works. Warm sugar cookies, ground cinnamon, fresh nutmeg, and sprinkled with sugar. And this does actually legit smell like a snickerdoodle. I feel like I get like the sugar cookie base of that plus the cinnamon and sugar like topping that's usually on a snickerdoodle. It almost reads a little bit bready to me too. That might be the way the nutmeg is playing with the sugar cookie. I don't think I've burned that one before. Caramel pumpkin swirl. This one was just 75% off, but I bought this early on in the season and have just been storing it. Luscious caramel, ground cinnamon, rich brown sugar, and creamy vanilla. So good. The caramel really comes out in this. So I feel like it's comparable to pumpkin cupcake. This one, except that it has caramel in it and you get some of the brown sugar. So they're both very gourmandy, very buttercream, but this one has more pumpkin and spice and this one has more caramel and brown sugar. And the brown sugar note, you can get some of the molasses in there. So it's just kind of rich and deeply sweet. I picked this one up at Goose Creek recently because I liked the cookie dough one, the chocolate chip cookie dough one, so much that I decided to try the pumpkin spice rolls. This is a part of the Pillsbury collab. It's gooey pumpkin spice roll, rich pumpkin spice frosting, cinnamon and brown sugar, and on cold, like heaven in a jar. You get really good spice, and it's a little bit spicy hot. So if you don't like spicy hot cinnamon, I don't think you'd like this. You definitely get some like ooey gooiness of what feels like either an icing or like a melted butter center of a cinnamon roll. Oh, it's so good. Very spicy though for a cinnamon roll. Not as sweet as what you might expect, but I actually kind of like that. And the last one in this theme is pumpkin vanilla creme. This one is creamy pumpkin, vanilla creme, fresh ground nutmeg, and graham cracker crust. Not always a fan of the graham cracker from Bath & Body Works, but I don't mind it in here. It actually smells like an original graham cracker, not a cinnamon one. It does actually feel like a crust. I feel like I get like a butter baked note to it. The spice is nice and warm. I like the nutmeg in here. And then you don't get much pumpkin. It's mostly just vanilla. Oh, I am very excited about that theme, y'all. I want to eat all of those. And it's months like this where I'm like, if I were to do more sent to table episodes, I would have like 6 episodes right there. Okay, the next theme, this is my pancake. Let me make sure because I have both a pancake and a waffle theme. Yeah, this is my pancakes theme. Not all of these have a pancake note. Some of them have a maple note. So this one is maple pumpkin from Bath & Body Works, pumpkin spice, sweet maple syrup, and brown sugar. I personally really enjoy this one. I get a whole lot of maple syrup. It is strong. It is cloying. It does stick to your clothes. About halfway through this one, I was burning it at the stepdad's house, but he said it burned his eyes. So I brought it home. And I will enjoy it here. Yum, that's so good. And to go with that one, which by the way, this one outdoes that one, is maple butter from Goose Creek. This is probably the strongest maple candle I've ever burned. I did review this one quite a while ago. This was early on in my channel life. Warm maple syrup, melted butter, and spiced vanilla. Oh my goodness. It is so strong on the maple note. And even in comparing this one to this one, and granted this is maple pumpkin, this feels very sweet. And I feel like I'm picking up on that molasses note that's in there and a little bit of warmth from the pumpkin. This smells like butter, and the maple is almost woody to me. Like it's like fresh tapped maple syrup. It's so yummy. This one sticks to your hair, sticks to your clothes. You go for a walk and you smell like maple syrup. That's what happened to me. Blueberry maple pancakes from Bath & Body Works. Finally digging into mine, even though I've heard that these were not good performers. Wild blueberries, griddle fresh pancakes, and warm maple syrup. Not crazy about the blueberry in here. I think it's the way it's playing with the maple. It makes it feel like additionally artificial. And when I see wild blueberry, I usually think of them being, I don't know, a little more tart, a little more concentrated in flavor. We'll see. I may actually really like that one, and then I'll be sad that I didn't pick up a backup during the 75% off sale. I'm going to do a side-by-side with Goose Creek's blueberry pancakes. Theirs is almost exactly the same. Wild blueberries, sugary maple syrup, and warm pancakes. The difference is that I actually get pancake with this one. And the blueberry is much more subtle. And it's not as over-the-top artificial. It actually legitimately smells like a wild blueberry to me. And to be fair, Goose Creek does blueberry really well. I don't think they've made a blueberry candle that I don't like. Original buttermilk pancakes from Goose Creek. This is a part of the IHOP collab that just came out. It's fluffy buttermilk pancakes, rich maple syrup, and creamy melted butter. Yeah, there's just an element in here that reminds me of their farmhouse breakfast, which I don't like. I swear I'm getting like a hint of salted pork in here, like bacon note, even though there's no bacon note. And it could just be my brain. But you do get like a sourness from the buttermilk, and you are getting a really sweet syrupy note. Don't know that I get a super strong pancake, but it's a vibe. And then double blueberry pancakes from IHOP collab as well. Golden pancakes, warm maple syrup, juicy blueberries, and vanilla sugar. Yeah, I feel like this blueberry is juicier than the blueberry pancake one. Not quite as earthy. It's sweeter. And I don't really get pancake in this at all. It just smells like maple syrup and blueberry. But I'm here for it. The pancake theme is not to be outdone by my waffle theme. Well, waffle and French toast. French toast from Kringle. This is one of their new fall 3-wicks, which I just reviewed. Scent notes are warm maple, melted butter, vanilla, and spun sugar. And I do not get French toast on this at all. I just get maple and butter, and I'm okay with it. Actually, this would go really well with the maple butter from Goose Creek. They're very similar. There's almost like a bourbon note to this. There's something that's very like syrupy sweet that almost smells like a bourbon. I didn't pick up on that when I don't think, when I originally reviewed that. Peach pecan waffles from Goose Creek. Baked peaches, buttered waffles, and warm maple syrup. Not always a peach fan, but I don't mind it in this one. It is a little bit peach ring vibe to me. Almost smells like a preserved, like canned peach, or like peach pie filling in the can versus a fresh peach. And is there an actual waffle note? There is, but I don't feel like I get... There's definitely something buttered. I don't know that I would say it specifically smells like waffle, and the maple note is definitely not as strong as I would expect in that one. This one was my favorite in this collection, vanilla pumpkin waffles. Y'all, this one is so good. I think they just re-released this in a new label. It's like the neutral style jar. It's pumpkin spice, vanilla waffles, and maple syrup. Yes. It is basically a vanilla maple scent. I get just a hint of like breadiness from the waffle. Oh, so good. Creamy. A little bit vanilla extracty, but I like it. French toast from Goose Creek. This has warm French toast, melted butter, maple syrup, and chopped pecans. Yeah, this is really good too. I feel like I'm getting like a little bit of the French toast in this one. I almost feel like I'm getting like that charred edge of a French toast that has a little bit of egginess to it. The maple syrup is present, but not overpowering. The butter is just kind of warm and fatty and helps to balance out some of the sweetness in here. And I do get a nuttiness from the pecan. Yeah, that is something I want to eat. The hubs and I are actually going to make, every November we make sweet potato pancakes, and then we make a like pecan butter to go over it with maple syrup. Yep, I'm looking forward to this month. And speaking of pecans and, you know, anything with maple syrup, pumpkin pecan waffle. Although, does this have, yeah, maple syrup. Maple syrup, golden waffles, pumpkin spice, and brown sugar. Now, despite this not actually having a pecan note in it, I swear I get a nuttiness in this. And I don't know if it's the way the brown sugar is playing with the maple syrup, but I get nuttiness. It smells a lot like the pecan butter that I put on my sweet potato pancakes. It is sweet, syrupy. Oh, so good. Y'all, I'm loving this month. Well, technically next month. And then this one I don't think smells like any of these, and I contemplated not putting in here, but I needed a 6th candle to fill out the tray. So I'm going to do the strawberry banana French toast, which is a part of the IHOP collab. And that's because I swear this is just You're So Berry Sweet from the Valentine's Day collection. Yeah, I get strawberry and banana that's slightly chocolate covered. I don't know. It's French toast, sugared strawberries, sliced banana, drizzled with sweet caramel. I don't get caramel. I don't get French toast. I definitely get strawberry. I definitely get banana, but I also feel like I get chocolate. Go figure. All right, next theme. This one is like, this is my like foresty apple. This is just my forest, my woodsy collection. First one I'm going to pull out of here is Fall Fireside from Goose Creek. This one is super smoky, but if I recall on warm, that kind of tones down a little bit. It's crunchy leaves, smoked cedar, and fireplace embers. I also feel like on cold, like I get a leather note, even though that's not listed here. It's really pretty, and I like how it warms. I think it will help balance some of the other woody tree leaf notes in this collection. So I do plan on using that as a companion candle. I'm also going to do forest, sage, and pumpkin. This one's creamy white pumpkin, spiced chestnuts, and forest sage. The sage is nice in this. I feel like it almost reads a little bit minty to my nose. The pumpkin is nice and creamy, and it does actually smell like the flesh, the inside of a pumpkin, not like a pumpkin spice. And the chestnuts are hard to find, but they're in there. It's a little bit nutty. Love the green wax on that too. Cold Autumn Leaves. This was also one of my favorites in that collection. This is Autumn Leaves, Fir Needles, and Cool Autumn Rain, and this is a Goose Creek candle. So earthy. And it's like crunchy, dead leaves. You're going for a walk. It's a little bit cold outside. Yeah, that's like the perfect November woods scent. Oh, I love this one so much too. Autumn Glow. I know I'm going to say that a lot, but y'all, I actually really love this rotation. Rustic Cedar, Nutty Acorns, Cinnamon Stick, and Clove Buds. I love Goose Creek's acorn note, which I thought about breaking out Sandy Cheeks and burning it this month too, but I only have one of those left. I'm saving it for next year. Oh, this is so good. And this is a good transitional scent because I feel like the cinnamon stick and the clove bud with the cedar make this smell a little bit like Christmas. It's like very piney and holiday to me. And then you have the acorn note in here, which makes it feel like fall. I love that. So earthy and beautiful. Here's the Autumn Woods I was referencing earlier from Bath & Body Works. Love the green kind of shimmering jar. Dark walnut, English lavender, and white amber. I love the wood note in this. It actually smells like a raw wood, but then that amber brings in, and so does the lavender, a hint of like perfumey or almost cologne-y essence to it that just kind of richens it a little bit, and I feel like brings out some of the natural elements of that walnut note. Autumn Rain from Goose Creek, and y'all, I am waiting for Autumn Rain. It has been high 70s, low 80s the entire month of October. I think it's rained like twice. Yeah, I want more rain. Dewy Apple, Cool Rainwater, and Fallen Leaves. It's fresh. The apple is tart, a little bit juicy. I feel like the leaves note is very subtle, but it's present. It brings a sense of like earthiness to the really bright apple of this one. I don't feel like this necessarily fits perfectly with this particular theme, but I do think it'll be a good mixer with some of the apple scents that I have if I want to bring in more earthiness to that. And then the last one in this theme is a Kringle candle called Autumn Amber. I had this in a daylight and really liked it, so I picked it up in the big boy. Apple blossom, floral, cedar wood, and pine. It's so pretty. You get the cedar wood, which is like a raw wood. It feels a little bit like hamster shavings or like a cedar closet. And then the pine note is just sharp, sappy, sweet. It literally feels like you're, out working in the woods, cutting down trees to make firewood for winter. It's so pretty. Next theme is this is like my pumpkin. It's like pumpkin scent, but without being full-on gourmand. This one's Vanilla Pumpkin Marshmallow from Bath & Body Works. I had this last year in a single wick, so I'm happy I have the 3-wick now. Tahitian vanilla, pumpkin spice, homemade marshmallow, and drizzled caramel. I did burn this one already. It does perform. My single wick did not. So I was afraid this would have very little strength or throw, but it did okay. Yeah, ooey gooey marshmallow is what I get first and foremost, with a hint of what feels like a warm cinnamon. Caramel doesn't come through real strong on that for me. And I know that sweet potato is not pumpkin. And this probably could have gone in the gourmand pumpkin section. But I actually don't think this is that sweet, even though it's called sweet potato beignet. It's from Goose Creek. Sweet potato puree, powdered beignets, and creamy honey butter. I get so good. Mostly honey butter first. I feel like you do get an element of actual sweet potato puree. It has that like, this sounds bad, but sweet potato has like a dirty element to it. It's like a minerally dirt vibe that you get when you break open a sweet potato. It has that. And then it's sweet, but I don't feel like it's cloying sweet. It doesn't feel like full gourmand to me. Next is Pumpkin Cold Foam from Bath & Body Works. I don't know about the color of this wax, y'all. That's not what pumpkin cold foam would look like. Frothy cold foam, pumpkin spice sprinkles, and vanilla syrup. And I've heard this one is not a stellar performer. Yeah, I feel like I get mostly vanilla. And it's kind of a marshmallowy and milky vanilla. With like a hint of spice. I also thought that might blend well with the coffee theme. Pumpkin Spice Season from Goose Creek. I do not like these jars. I don't like the dry feeling of the jar. So I'm just going to try to touch the lid. Pumpkin spice, ground nutmeg, and brown sugar. Yeah, this is just like a stellar, beautiful, dry spice. A little bit woody. A little bit spicy hot cinnamon. It's not super sweet. I feel like you get like a hint of molasses from that brown sugar. It does smell quite a bit like Bath & Body Works white pumpkin, but it is not their white pumpkin dupe because they have another one, which I'll have a review out on that soon, called Ivory Pumpkin, that I think is a dupe of white pumpkin. Also have warm pumpkin bread in this theme from Goose Creek. Pumpkin puree, warm loaf cake, and cinnamon spice. And I wanted more gourmandiness to this, more bread. I feel like this just smells like, I swear I get something that smells like vanilla cream with like a hint of spice, but it's not super gourmandy. That one's an odd duck. And the last one in this theme is Pumpkin Pecan S'mores. Despite this picture with chocolate and graham cracker, it only has the graham cracker note. There's no chocolate in this. It's pumpkin spice, candied pecans, toasted marshmallow, and graham cracker. It's okay. There's something in here that oddly smells woody to me. I think that's probably the way the pecan is playing with the graham cracker. It's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that one. We'll see. My next theme is like pecan, peanut, nutty, praline, sugary nuts, basically. Cinnamon sugared pecans. Although I think this is more of a Christmas holiday candle. I did have in my mind that like the end of November exists, and I'm going to want some that kind of feel more Christmas as I bring my tree in. I usually get it shortly after Thanksgiving. This one is warm cinnamon, toasted pecans, and brown sugar. Y'all, I love this one. It is nutty. It is like warm spicy. And it is super sweet from the brown sugar that's in here. Caramel pecan pie from Goose Creek. Now this one's pretty heavy on the caramel and light on the pie. It's glazed pecans, warm caramel, and flaky pie crust. And you get just like a hint of pecan nuttiness. Yeah, it almost smells like the raw like mixture that you pour into a pecan pie, but like before you bake it. It feels very like creamy and caramelly. Sea salt caramel praline from Goose Creek. This one is divine. I really, really like this one. Praline candy, caramel drizzle, peanut butter, and sea salt. It is salty. I do feel like I get a raw peanut note. It's a little bit caramelly. It reminds me quite a bit of like a Cracker Jack box. Like, you know, if you stuck your nose in a Cracker Jack box, that's what it smells like. Bourbon pecan tart from Goose Creek. This is glazed pecans, warm brown sugar, crumbly pie crust, and Kentucky bourbon. Yum. Yeah, just smells like the inside of the tart. The pecan vibes. The bourbon note is not strong on this. It comes across as a little bit syrupy and sweet. I actually would take more bourbon in that. But I actually have a liquor theme this month, so I'll probably be pairing those. Praline Delight from Bath & Body Works is next. I love this one so much, I already have a backup of it. Roasted pecans, brown sugar, and creamy caramel. Sweet, caramelly. It's not too rich. It's much more of a sugary caramel than it is like a dark caramel or burnt caramel. The nuttiness I feel like is more subtle. Y'all, this rotation has got me. I love, love, love it. And finally in this theme, Pumpkin Peanut Brittle from Bath & Body Works. And I was just burning the Halloween one from Goose Creek in October that's a dupe of this. So I'm happy to have another one. Although technically I have another one of that one too. Crunchy Caramel Brittle, Salty Peanuts, Toasted Pumpkin Seeds. And this smells like salty peanuts with caramel. Again, kind of gives me Cracker Jack box vibes. This is my Boozy Theme, which y'all cannot wait to get into. Whiskey and Embers from Kringle. Have not burned this one before, but y'all, the picture alone, that's November vibes to me. Fire with some whiskey. It's whiskey, wood smoke, tonka, spice, amber, and wood. It is woody. It is a bit perfumey, and the wood note is a natural wood. The tonka adds just like this vanilla sweet vibe to it. And I get a syrupy, boozy note from the whiskey. Very pleasing to the nose. I don't know how it will be in terms of strength and throw. Also from Kringle, Smoke and Oak. This has smoke, wood, bourbon, leather, amber, and fruit. This one has a lot more of what feels like a berry note to it. It's fruity sweet with a juicy syrupy bourbon note with boozy. I also feel like the smoke note and the wood note on this aren't as present as the previous one. It feels a bit more like body care bourbon to me. I do like it, but it's not exactly what I would expect from a candle called Smoke and Oak. Speakeasy. I really like how this one smells too. I know I keep saying that. Bourbon, wood, smoke, spice, tobacco, oak moss, vanilla, and amber. Yeah, the oak moss adds this like hint of more of a fresh greenness. You get a raw wood. You get a hint of smokiness. You get that syrupy sweetness from the bourbon. There's a light spice in here. It's kind of on the like base, and it's well blended with the bourbon note. It almost makes it smell like a spiced bourbon. Yeah, and a little bit perfumey from the amber. It's just like the classic Kringle amber note. Bourbon from Goose Creek. Recently did a review on this if you're interested. Kentucky bourbon, oak barrel, and rustic spice. And this straight up smells like you're sitting in a distillery tasting bourbon next to empty oak barrels. It's a woody. It's sweet, it's boozy, and then that spice is dry and barky and feels very earthy. Stellar performer too. Toasty Pumpkin Toddy from Goose Creek. Scent notes of spiced pumpkin, toasted pecans, rich molasses, and dark rum. This one, I feel like the rum note could be stronger. It's in there. It's boozy. It's definitely a spiced rum, which is usually dark rum will have some spice in it. I get the pumpkin. It feels fleshy and kind of sweet and starchy. And then the spice note is warm. Molasses is in there too. Feels a little bit like a brown sugar syrup. By the way, PB is playing with a straw. So if you hear that, that's what that noise is. You know, I buy the cat toys all the time. And he's like, no, give me the straw. Give me the straw wrapper. Give me the Starbucks paper bag to play with. Or the Hershey Nuggets foil wrappers. He really likes those too. Like, why do I spend money on toys? The last one in this theme is Holiday Rum Cake by Goose Creek. This is one of the labels that Kent did last year. This is warm vanilla cake, rich cream, cocoa drizzle, and rum. The rum is super minimal on this. It's mostly cake, but it is in there. I burned this a little bit last year. I wasn't a huge fan. It was just a bit weird, but I'm going to revisit it. And I also think if I'm burning these other ones, this might add just a hint of like foodie gourmands sweetness that might balance out some of the booziness in those other ones. It's going to be my first booze theme. I think I had a couple of them that had whiskey in it in June for Father's Day, but this is just like straight up legit whiskey. Next one is my gourmand that is not pumpkin and not necessarily apple, although there is some apple in some of this stuff. Hummingbird tea cake from Bath & Body Works. This was a winter sass candle we picked up. Pineapple cake batter, cinnamon spice, and toasted pecans. Could have put this in the pecan theme too. Yeah, this one's really grown on me. The Hubs has always loved this one. It smells like a banana bread to me, but instead of banana, it has a hint of pineapple in there. Or like a pineapple upside down cake. It is a beast of a performer. Cinnamon sugar coffee cake. This will also, I think, go well with the coffee collection. Coffee cake, FYI, does not have coffee in it. It's meant to be served with coffee, so that's why I think it will go well with that theme. It's freshly baked coffee cake, cinnamon sugar crumble, and gooey caramel swirl. Yep, love the caramel note in this. I feel like the sugar crumble might have a little bit of brown sugar in it. I feel like I'm picking up on some brown sugar. The cinnamon is warm and feels like a baker's cinnamon. Bake Shop pastry from Goose Creek. Cinnamon buns, buttery pastries, and warm bakery air. And this one is pretty like pretzel-y to me. This feels like a pretzel dough base with a hint of cinnamon and sugar. I like it. I have Kringle's spiced apple in this theme. This is spiced apple, cinnamon, cedarwood, green pear, musk, and tonka bean. Picked this up recently at the Labor Day sale. I feel like it's woody. It's dry spice. That pear is super juicy and a little bit sweet and really is well balanced with the spiced apple note in here. Hubs really liked this one, so we picked it up. I had it in a daylight that we tried. I'm excited for that one. Cinnamon sugar vanilla from Goose Creek. This is cinnamon sugar, vanilla bean, and warm pastry. Very creamy with like a hint of cinnamon and sugar. It is more icing, kind of you licked off and it had some cinnamon bun stuff attached to it. I like it, but it feels very subtle. And the last one in this theme is the warm snickerdoodle from Goose Creek. This is warm snickerdoodle, cinnamon sugar, and vanilla bean. Super sweet. That vanilla bean is strong. This almost just smells like, having smelled it compared to these other ones, like a buttercream frosting vibe. But it definitely reads like a sugar cookie dough with some cinnamon sugar on it, which is what you would expect from a snickerdoodle. And Goose Creek just launched today, actually, a Snickerdoodles for Santa candle. I'm curious how that's going to compare with this guy. All right, that is all of my large jar 3 wicks. Let me grab my single wicks. Most of my single wicks are not duplicates this month. Usually I have duplicates, but this month it's mostly original stuff. Only one, and that is the pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath & Body Works. So same set notes as the other one. I'm also adding leaves, and this is just kind of residual from, like, it's time to just flush all the remaining fall stuff out. I had this in a 3 wick. I'm going to burn this in the single wick in the bathroom this month. Crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. Just a burst of apple with clove. Inner Angel, which, by the way, PB is behind the camera snoring. I apologize if that comes up on the mic. This is one of the Everyday Luxuries scents that came out in the single wick. It's spiced apple cognac, tonka bean, and warm praline. I feel like it goes with the praline nut vibe I have. It has some connections with the apple theme, the liquor theme. This was one of my favorites, albeit not the strongest of that collection that I did do a review on. Cinnamon apple cider. Got this at my outlet store. It's an old White Barn candle. Cinnamon apples, toasted nutmeg, and rich amber. Super tart. Cinnamon is spicy hot. I really don't get nutmeg or rich amber in here. I mean, it feels perfumey to me, but my nose is just reading that as apple. But maybe that is the amber. I liked this in the 3-wick so much that I picked it up in the Single-Wick Farmhouse Lavender from Goose Creek. I don't know. It doesn't feel like anything related to any of the themes I have this month. I just want to burn it. Dried lavender bundles, white pumpkin, and farmhouse spice. Maybe because there's a spice note. But really, this just smells like a beautiful dried lavender. And I know this is the same lavender that was in Lavender Sugar that came out this late summer. It smells so much better with the spice and like the earthiness of the pumpkin. So well balanced. I actually have another 3-wick of that too. I bought it to go with my boozy theme and the coffee theme. Espresso Martini from Bath & Body Works. Espresso, coffee liqueur, and splash of vanilla. I think I'm going to regret not buying another one of these with the big sale they recently had. Because it's delicious. It's coffee. It's a little bit of creaminess. I feel like you get a hint, very small hint of a liqueur vibe from that. And it was a good performer. I have Campfire Coffee from Swan Creek. Y'all, I had this in my June rotation. I did a camping theme and I just never got to it. I'm going to try to get to it again because it is good. It's very rich coffee, very dark roast. It's almost smoky. There might be a smoke vibe in here because of the campfire. I basically just want to be done with Swan Creek, and this is I think my last one from them. This candle I got for free from Homeworx. They were doing a deal where if you bought like 2 or 3, you got a free single wick. I think these are single. Yeah, single wick on this one. So this got tossed in the bag. Not necessarily anything I really wanted. It was just free. Roasted pumpkin, cinnamon stick, ground nutmeg, and glazed sugar. It actually reminds me a little bit of the pumpkin cupcake from Bath & Body Works. It's spicy, but I also get a lot of sweetness. So they're calling it glazed sugar, but this almost reads like a buttercream to my nose. I hope it throws, because if it does, it'll be nice. Pumpkin Bonfire, which I technically burned in my October rotation, but I'm bringing it out for November in the single wick. This is white pumpkin, a bundle of clove buds, and glowing embers. Smoky, starchy and sweet from the pumpkin. Yeah, so good. Smoky, clove bud is nice and spicy. Probably not everybody's vibe, but that's one of my favorite fall candles from Bath & Body Works. And because I bought this in the 3-wick, and I'm really enjoying it in October, I'm going to burn the pumpkin s'mores in the bathroom in the single wick. And actually, I bought this one first and just never tested it. Just went right for the 3-wick during the 75% off sale. And I do enjoy it this year. It's better than last year's. Roasted marshmallow, melted chocolate, and pumpkin graham cracker. And I think it's because I swear last year it was like a cinnamon graham cracker and it had a weird perfume vibe to it. Almost like they took Marshmallow Fireside and added a cinnamon graham cracker and it just didn't work. This feels better blended. You get the chocolate, you get the marshmallow, and you get the graham cracker, but it doesn't feel spicy or perfumey. It's just a delicious chocolate gourmand marshmallow scent that will also transition nicely into December, which, yes, I'm already planning is going to have like a chocolate hot cocoa theme for sure. I cannot wait for that month either. And yeah, I'm already planning it. That is everything I have for my November rotation. If you have any questions for me, I know there's always a lot of questions about like how I pull candles, how I decide themes. I'm more than willing to share that with y'all. If you have those questions, put them in the comment section below. Also, tell me if there's anything in here that excites you or repulses you. Give me some insights. What am I getting myself into next month? If you like this video and you want to see my rotations every month, make sure you give me a thumbs up. That tells me that you enjoy this content and that you want to see more of it. Also, make sure you're subscribed because tomorrow I will have a Bath & Body Works haul. Good sale this weekend. They started the $10.95 sale and you don't need a code, so you can combine it with coupons. I'm staring at it. a delivery I got of some of the online exclusive candles. I'm also going to go to the outlet store tomorrow with the hubs, so I will definitely have a haul posted Sunday. Looking over here, empties video, lots of empties, and I will probably have one of the Goose Creek holiday reviews done, but I think, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think of timing. I'll probably do it Sunday. If not Sunday, you'll get 2 on Monday. We'll see. But I know the Goose Creek was in high demand, and with the poll, you could only vote once. And so some of you were like, I want both Goose Creek first. So maybe I'll just do both of those on the same day, one more early in the day and one in the afternoon. Either way, you're going to want to be subscribed so those show up in your YouTube feed. All right, y'all, I will talk to you again tomorrow in my Bath & Body Works ritual haul. Until then, have a great Friday and happy Halloween. Bye.